Okay, you hear me? You hear that?
Yep.
Cool, good, perfect. I think that's it, that's the video right there. Butt, everybody likes butt. Rubbing butt, spreading butt apart, eating butt. Growing up in North Carolina, butt is just everywhere. And honestly, I understand why, because it is one of the easiest things you can barbecue. It's inexpensive, it's a lot of fun to work with. You can kind of do whatever you want. It's a very, very forgiving cut of meat. Of course, I'm talking about pork shoulder or pork butt. Yes, shoulder is called butt when it comes to pigs. I know it's a very, very weird thing. We're gonna have a good time with this butt today, and I've got my pork choice here, which is some Ciroc Summer Citrus Splash OJ, because nothing is better than screwdrivers and butt. Have fun with that YouTube family-friendly algorithm. No one's gonna be able to watch this video. They're gonna bury it way down, but it might be popular on Pornhub. Today, we are working with a 10-pound pork shoulder butt roast. And the way we're cooking this today is just a general, here's how you make the butt taste good. But then what you wanna do with this afterwards, if you wanna make it sandwiches, if you wanna make it nachos, which I think that's what I wanna do. Hey, don't interrupt me, I'm talking about butt. I'm gonna pull it. Hey, don't interrupt me, I'm talking about butt. Or you can do what I'm gonna be doing later, which is making nachos out of this. Now, we're gonna do this low and slow, meaning probably 12 to 14 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and just get this straight out of the cryovac. No real trimming here today. We're just gonna just pat it dry with some paper towels and then throw the seasonings on. This is our pork butt. If you've never seen one, you've only ever had pulled pork, this is where it comes from. There typically is a bone in there. Among a lot of barbecuers, this bone is like the instant read thermometer, meaning if you cook this to the proper temperature and got it nice and tender, you can literally pull this out with no resistance. I'm not gonna use a binder. Binders are used to kind of help the seasoning stick to it. I'm going straight up with an all-purpose seasoning. I'm using Swine Life's Mississippi Grit. You can buy any all-purpose seasoning. You can make your own. It's just salt, pepper, and garlic. And so I'm gonna give this a good layer of this because butts can take a lot of seasoning. Honestly, any big cut of meat can take a lot of seasoning. And with this, we wanna hit all the sides. So I like to start with those first so I don't overlook it. And then I'm gonna hit that side and I'm coming back around with this. Like I said, it can handle the seasonings. And this is just gonna add just some good flavor. And because we want a nice bark on this, don't be shy. We're gonna put our traditional barbecue rub on. Today I'm using one of my favorites. I love this barbecue rub. It's called Mojo Barbecue. And when I tell you it smells amazing and the color is amazing, I'm not kidding you. Like I've been so excited to reorder this, and this is gonna be awesome on our pork butt. So let's just go ahead and get a very, very good coating of this on here. Again, starting with the sides. I said, coat this thing good. If you see some come off, it's okay. Put it back on there. We're gonna be cooking this pork butt fat side down the entire cook. So I just wanna remember that that's the fat side. But just because it's the fat side doesn't mean it doesn't get any seasoning. And then let's come back on the top. And we're just gonna hit this guy nice and good. And then even what's here at the bottom of my pan right here, I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top because I don't want anything to go to waste. Now what we're gonna do that we've got this seasoned is I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna take a drink, most important part of this recipe. So now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna take this pork butt. I've just got a regular aluminum pan right here, and I've taken a wire rack just to kind of raise it up off the bottom of the pan. I've put it in here, and then I'm just gonna take our pork butt that we just seasoned, and I'm just gonna put it on the rack in this pan. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm about to put this in the fridge for about a good 5 to 6 hours. And the whole time our seasonings are gonna be working. So I'm gonna leave this uncovered in our fridge for the next 5 to 6 hours. Again, this is gonna take 12 to 14 hours. So we're actually gonna cook this overnight, which means if I put it on around like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, it should be done by tomorrow afternoon, is what I'm hoping. Hey, it has been 6 hours, and now we're gonna put it on our grill at 200 degrees. Lewis has got the light on him because he is a savior. And we're just gonna put it right on our grill. If you're using a charcoal grill, just have a good couple of chunks of hickory going, but be prepared to keep your fuel going. So that's the benefit of the pellet grill, is I have the hopper full of pellets and it'll last me all night. With a charcoal grill, you might want to have a plan in place in order to keep new fuel going to it. Other than that, this is on here. We're gonna close it up and we will look at this again around, I don't know, like 9 a.m. and see how it's going. And then from there, we'll kind of probe it and check it and see what needs to go next. But that's it. Overnight cook, it's in the grill. We don't touch it no more. And now it's time to go to bed. Good morning. It has been 8 hours going on 9. Our pork butt has been sitting overnight, 200 degrees. But let's go ahead and check it because right now the pork butt should be entering the stall. Now what the stall is just where the meat pretty much sits at the same temperature for hours and hours and hours. And then what it'll do is after like a couple of hours of sitting at the same temperature, all of a sudden it'll just start jumping up. It'll start cooking and then it'll be done. A lot of people freak out when the stall happens. Right now, it's just before the stall, it's 146. But what we're gonna do is close this lid and then I'm gonna bump this temperature up to 225 now. I'm gonna check, make sure I still have enough pellets to make it for the next few hours because this is still gonna take, I don't know, this is probably gonna take about another 5 hours or so. But there's nothing else to do. We just bumped up the temperature and that's it. So continue to wait, continue to chill. When it gets to 190, we'll be done. It has been 15 hours. So this is definitely not something you want to try to make if you're in a rush. 15 hours, but I promise you the time is worth it. So let's check on our pork butt. It's looking good. Let's just probe it real quick and see where it's at. 197, that is perfect. Actually, I wanted to take it off at 190, but it's totally fine because it's only going to get lots and lots more tender. So I'm calling this one done. Now, I just want to point out, there are faster ways to make this. You can cook it at a higher temperature and have it done. It's called hot and fast butts. There's also ways you can do it like by wrapping it. I love this bark. I tried a little bit of it. I'm absolutely in love with the way that this tastes. This is absolutely worth the time. Without further ado, let's go ahead and break this down. So we took out the bone. Now, all we have to do right here is just break this down. And as you see, it just kind of just shreds apart. This is pulled pork. This is a Boston butt. And once you master this, you can master anything else. Nick, come here. You wanna try some on camera? I got one of my best friends, Nick, here to try some of this. Either eat the pork straight or put it in the sauce. I heated some of the barbecue sauce that I made last week for the ribs. Yeah, that's a good size too.
Because I didn't expect it to be so juicy. This is the best pork butt I feel like you've ever made, John. My God.
Oh no.
That is special. What the fuck?
I'm trying to think of things to say to wrap this up. I don't know what to say. Listen.
That's delicious. That's what you say.
Yeah.
It's fucking delicious. Follow whatever he said in the video. Follow the steps.
Slow and low is the way to go with pork butts. Hot and fast, cool if you're in a rush. But if you can go slow and low, absolutely do that. If you want to come in, Lewis, I just want to show you guys real quick. The bark is great, and this is on a pellet grill. A lot of people say you can't achieve this type of bark on a pellet grill, but that's good. But also, there's that smoke ring. So you see how the meat is here, and you see that pink? That's what a lot of people are looking for. But again, when I say when it comes to barbecue, does that shit taste good? And if it tastes good, who cares? Poor Choices Kitchen. Nick gives it, oh, he's eating the bone. Nick is eating the bone, so yeah, all right. That's a good pork butt, good butt.